I always thought summers at my dad's lake house would be simple and quiet. Mornings filled with the smell of coffee, afternoons by the water, and nights listening to crickets. I was supposed to find peace here after graduating college, maybe even figure out what to do with my life. But nothing prepared me for the morning Ethan walked in on me in the shower. I'm Emily Carter, 23, stubborn, dreamy, and probably a little too curious for my own good. Ethan Montgomery was my dad's best friend's son. We grew up together, climbing trees and racing canoes, but this was the first summer we were both adults. And God, he had changed. His broad shoulders, that messy dark hair, the soft stubble on his jaw, and those eyes, deep ocean blue that always seemed to search for something in me. That morning, I was humming to myself in the shower, lost in warm steam and silly daydreams. I imagined a guy stumbling into my life, sweeping me into a movie-like kiss, something wild and unforgettable. But what actually happened was even more shocking. I didn't hear the door creak open. Suddenly, I felt a cold breeze and turned around. My heart almost jumped out of my chest. Ethan stood there, eyes wide, mouth parted, completely frozen. I screamed, grabbing a towel like my life depended on it. "Oh my God, Emily, I didn't know," he stammered, backing away so fast he nearly fell over. "Get out," I shrieked, my face flaming. He fumbled out of the room, hands over his face, muttering apologies. I stood there, trembling, my mind spinning with embarrassment and something else I didn't want to admit, a strange, electric excitement. When I finally stepped into the hallway, I found him in the kitchen, clutching a coffee mug like it was a lifeboat. He looked up at me with those desperate, guilty eyes. "Emily, I'm so sorry," he whispered. I couldn't even look at him. "Please just don't talk about it," I mumbled and turned away. But he didn't listen. "Wait," he said, stepping closer. His voice dropped, trembling and honest. "I didn't just see you. I saw you. And I can't pretend anymore." I turned around slowly, hugging my towel tighter. "What are you talking about?" I asked, my heart pounding in my ears. His eyes locked on mine. "I've tried to see you as the girl I grew up with. But this summer, I realized I've been lying to myself. You're beautiful, and I can't keep this to myself." My breath hitched. "Ethan, this is insane. You just walked in on me." I'm still freaking out. He stepped forward, so close I could feel his warmth. "I know. And I'm sorry for that. But I'm not sorry I feel this way," he said, his forehead nearly touching mine. Then he pulled back, leaving me breathless and dizzy. "I'll give you space," he said softly, his eyes lingering on mine like he didn't want to leave. All day, we avoided each other. I read the same page of a book over and over, and he disappeared into the woods. When we did cross paths, we looked anywhere but each other. My dad and Ethan's dad were out fishing, so they didn't notice a thing. That night, I couldn't sleep. I walked down to the lake in my thin pajama shorts and a hoodie, the moonlight shimmering on the water like silver lace. I wrapped my arms around myself, trying to quiet the tornado in my chest. Then I heard his steps. Ethan appeared behind me, hands shoved in his pockets. He looked lost and determined all at once. "Couldn't sleep?" he asked gently. I shook my head. "Me neither." He walked closer, his face illuminated by the moon. "Emily, I meant every word I said earlier." I looked at him, shivering. "I know. Do you feel it too?" he asked, barely above a whisper. My lips parted, and for the first time all day, I let the truth spill out. "Yes," I breathed. He stepped forward, his fingers brushing my wrist, so light it made my whole body shiver. Then he kissed me. The world stopped. His lips were soft but urgent, like he'd been waiting years to do this. I melted against him, my hands sliding up into his hair, my body buzzing like it was made of lightning. When he pulled back, our breaths tangled, our foreheads pressed together. "I've wanted this since forever," he murmured, his thumb stroking my cheek. I laughed shakily, tears welling in my eyes. "I didn't even know until today," I whispered. We kissed again, slower this time, savoring every second. We sank onto the grass by the lake, our legs tangled, sharing secrets and giggles under the stars. I told him about my fears of the future, how lost I felt after college. He told me he felt the same, how he always thought I was too bright and beautiful to ever see him that way. By dawn, we crept back inside, hair damp with dew, hearts pounding. Over breakfast, we exchanged shy glances while our dads talked about fishing and beer. It felt like we were sharing the sweetest secret in the world. The next few weeks were like living in a dream. We stole kisses behind the boathouse, shared soft touches under the table during dinner, and sneaked out at midnight to swim under the moon. Every moment with him felt wild and electric, but also warm and safe. The awkward moment that started it all became our joke. He teased me about the towel. I teased him about his shocked face. But underneath the laughter, there was something real, something so big it scared me, and thrilled me all at once. By the end of summer, we both knew we had to face reality. He had a job lined up in New York, and I was supposed to start interviews back in Boston. But one night on the deck, as the lake turned pink and gold under the sunset, he held me close and whispered, "I don't want this to end." I turned around, looking into his eyes, feeling every word echo inside me. "Then let's not let it end," I said softly. He kissed me again, deeper and sweeter than ever before, and in that moment I knew. Love isn't always planned. Sometimes it walks in uninvited, right into your most vulnerable moments, like a boy barging into the bathroom when you're naked and unguarded. I always thought love would arrive in a grand, perfect way, roses, candles, maybe a slow dance under fairy lights. Instead, it arrived in the form of Ethan, a towel clutched to my chest, my face red as a tomato, and his eyes wide with shock. But I wouldn't change a single thing, because that awkward, breathless, unexpected moment turned into the beginning of the most beautiful story of my life. And now, every time I hear the creak of a door or catch a moonlit reflection on the lake, I remember how love found me, exactly where I least expected it.